So maximising independence, for me, maximising independence is about recognising that we've had 70 years roughly of a national health service and the welfare state infrastructure that we have. That's been a really amazing journey for us as a country. But what's clear over the last couple of decades is that that system is increasingly under pressure. The demands upon it are growing, and what we now know is that the resources that are available to it are shrinking. So we have an opportunity, and it's a really critical opportunity that we grasp, to think about how we redesign the system to continue to get better outcomes for people in a different way.
For us, Maximising Independence is really about how we can support people to live in their own homes, in their own families and in their own communities for as long as they possibly can and as well as they can.
Just listening to people is that they want to live in their own homes, they want to live in their communities, they want to be part of that. Technology is an enabler to that as well.
Huge benefits of physical activity for your mental health and your physical health, trying to delay any kind of long-term illness that you have for its progression. There are lots of lifestyle factors which we can incorporate so that it helps the deterioration of a condition that you may have.
In terms of creating or giving people a feeling of independence in a safe and controlled environment where they know that there's support when they need it, but that a lot of that support and care is driven by themselves.
Poverty is a big factor in the work that we do now. But I think the intervention of youth work is critical. And there was somebody said that for every £1 that's spent in youth work, it can save like the government £100 in the future. So I completely agree with that. I think that if there wasn't, what would young people be doing, you know?
So the benefit of it being local is they walk across the road. They're here. There's a practicality of setting places up in every community, but you know, every community is different, and if it has a local place to deal with things, the agencies come through us. Health Board, social work, the colleges come through us, Age Scotland comes through us. So there's a lot of partners working with us, Glasgow Life.
It's about providing the right support in the right way and challenging some of the traditional ways of doing that. So you might get your support from a different source, but that's because we're supporting, for example, your family or local communities to provide that support in a much more normalised way.
The diabetes course that we do, we're very lucky in that Aisha will do the exercise side of it and Rachel does the cooking.
I found out about it because I was getting my nails cut at a medical centre, and when I went one of the last times they said, "We can't do your nails again." And I says, I can't get down to cut my nails and I'm diabetic. And they said, well, eventually somebody told me about this place and I've been coming ever since.
A lot of people don't like going to hospitals, but not only because they don't want to, but because they can't travel and it's not local for them, and it's like having transport issues.
So I just became a member and joined, you know, I go to the art class, cookery.
You're kind of conveying medical information and help, but in a fun way that's not too clinical. You can have that cup of tea while you're sitting listening to the chat. It makes it feel much more accessible, much more like you want to go there.
I feel like the service wasn't here, we wouldn't have elderly people coming out the house more. There'd be chances of high depression and mental health, and just older people isolating more and not getting to know who lives in the community, not interacting.
Especially when the pandemic came, my daughter said to me, "Dad, we think you're kind of special, you better watch." So they done everything for me, all my messages, and I was never out for about 2 years, hardly ever out the door. I did get used to that, and if it wasn't for this place, I would still be in the house just sitting about watching television. But this place has kept me going about, you know.
If it wasn't for this hall, I don't think I would be here, because we've absolutely nothing here. I come 3 times a week, I come try to play carpet bowls, I play bingo, I come to the brunch club on a Wednesday, I come on a Friday to Domino's, I come here when I need to get nails cut. There's a lot of classes here that would suit many people. They don't know what they're missing if they don't come here.
So if somebody's got challenges in their daily life that require a health and social care input, how could we support the people round about them? So that's about family being enabled to help them rather than us immediately stepping into that space.
Yeah, we all look out for each other. Anybody's missing, we'll go chap their door or somebody will phone each other. Who's so-and-so? Have you seen so-and-so? Are they all right?
It has a big effect on their mental health because some of them don't have families near, so they would be on their own. Whereas they come in here, they get involved, they've said it, they don't mind going home because they've had that interaction during the day. So I would say on their mental health, definitely it's a bonus to be coming in here.
So the real strength of the voluntary sector organisations that we work with is their ability to work with communities in a very different way, to be very flexible to the needs of a community, they're very often very trusted by a community, and the nature of often how they're managed is that people and citizens are right at the heart of decision making within them. What that means is that the services they offer are usually very accessible to people and very responsive.
If we're not here, a lot of them were reluctant to go and seeking help with, for example, their GPs or their health profession, because most of them can't speak very good English. So pick up the phone and book appointment is very hard for them. So they really reluctant to go. But as well as there's a cultural difference, so they prefer to come to us to ask for help because we understand the Chinese culture and we are very culturally sensitive.
Actually, at a very fundamental level, what we know about changing outcomes for communities is that you only ever manage to do that when you do it with citizens and with the community, and that they are at the heart of leading the change. There has not been any example of significantly changing outcomes for communities that has not come from a place of involving and that being led by the local community.
Because we realised that most of our service users, this is what they want to do, is they want to build themselves up, and once they get enough confidence they start to volunteer with us. We do have a lot of our staff members have started as volunteers, and so it's actually quite good to see them develop their skills and build the confidence even to apply for jobs within the organisation and run projects themselves. Like our community engagement officer just now, they were volunteers because they've been in the shoes of the service users. They're one of the best people to engage the community as well.
The conversations is giving people the power that they have a say. They have a say in the type of trainings they get, type of service they will get, type of food they can have. So it gives that person that power and mandate that he can say yes or he can say no.
And I'm always kind of baffled by the amount of things, like so many resources within the community centre that people don't know about.
They provide for us craft and art, computer classes, cycling classes. When I get a good energy, I can go back to my home, to my family. My mind's clear, my mental is good. I can do everything.
I joined this organization very recently. Before that, I had no idea. So I've been through a lot, which make my confidence very low. And by joining them with Empower Women, it really empowers me, really get me back into my life again, and then making me be myself again, and then make me boost up my self-esteem and then confidence, and then now I'm a happy mother, and now I'm a happy woman.
Kind of working with people to help them come to know what's available to them, so very asset-based, signposting focused approach, as well as consulting with the community to start up new projects and groups to meet their needs that they've identified.
It's all about sharing information. It's about partners working together and sharing that information, and partners supporting partners to support people. And I think that's the big thing, you know.
Maximising Independence is about people are the experts in what their daily life looks like and what their challenges are on a daily basis, and their families are experts. And it's about shifting that power relationship between people who do, us doing the assessments and the people who are receiving care, and just shifting our language and our practice.
Well, the social aspect of volunteering is tremendous. I mean, good for the heart and the soul, getting out there, meeting other people, and people you would never ever come across in your everyday life.
People's confidence is very much boosted by doing this. We are trying to make, part of our job is trying to make people more independent in general with their lives. It may well be that they go on to do other volunteer opportunities after this. So really it's good for people's physical and mental health as well, being part of this. There's a huge amount of benefits, and you can just see that by looking in people's faces. They love it.
I did want to meet a lot of new people and get involved with everybody, and that's what I've done. I've done talks in colleges, and I've done talks in big meetings with 100 people there. I've done absolutely everything. I mean, and it's really brilliant.
So that sense of independence comes from that bit of travel in the morning, coming to your work, meeting and making new friends, working with colleagues like myself, and fulfilling work that they're asked to fulfill when they're here.
Oh, it's awesome, honestly. It's totally broadened my horizons. Like, it's an eye-opener, like all the things that you do see and notice in here, but it's amazing. It's gave me a new lease of life, honestly.
They will set those routines and those work patterns. They do it, and it's like anybody should have. It's going into the next stage of their life. And what you see from that is the growing confidence. You see the physical and mental well-being, working with your peers, supporting your peers, the physical attributes that people gain through that, just simple dexterity skills, the cognitive skills that are developed through that, through counting, through packaging. It's a profound difference that you see from people when they come and they start here. And that work element of it is the primary reason that people come here, and it's the primary reason people stay here.
Sometimes tend to take lead with helping other people, like see if other people understanding what they've to do. I'll kind of supervise and make sure everybody's doing the job properly, you know what I mean?
That's the person-centred approach that we try and take at every turn, is to try and have people dictate their own life and dictate their own needs and wants and decide what they want to do.